Here we are now on the Bad Cat stand. Legendary amplifiers here at Guitar Summit. Been known for years with that iconic look. It is iconic. See it from miles away on stage. And then with Matthews, the head of sales, and anything outside of the USA where they're built. Tell us what is new.
So these are the new Cub 5 point-to-point hand-wired amps. So we're building these in our little factory in Costa Mesa, Southern California. They are prototypes, like final prototypes, so they're going to be out in Europe probably in a month or two. We have a EL84 version, combo or head, 15 watts. We also do an EL34 version, again combo or head, and that's 40 watts. So the Cub was one of the first amps that Bad Cat ever designed, and I think it was about 25 years ago, something like that now.
Way back.
Yeah, and over the years, it's been revised a number of times. So this is, of course, the 5th version, the Cub 5, but absolutely the best. We've gone through the whole thing. We've really improved it in a number of areas. So if you look at it, it still has the EF86 and 12AX7 switching. So you can foot switch between those two preamp tubes for obviously a different gain structure. The 12AX7 is kind of smoother, cleaner. The EF86, a little bit more punch, a little bit more aggressive, a bit more hair to it. Very simple single channel, single row of controls, but you've also got 2 foot switchable masters. So you can set whatever volume levels you want and hop between the two of them. So for your solo spot, you know.
That is essential. I've always struggled with that, with getting the lift for solo. So you can have classic sound, stamp on the pedal, the same sound, a bit louder. Fully, that is essential. And you say prototypes.
Yeah.
So how long would you road test something as a prototype? Before you say, right,
man,
it's ready to go?
You know, we're a really small company. There's only about 19 people at Bad Cat in total. And we don't have like a testing program the way that some bigger companies do. You know, everybody at Bad Cat's a player. So John Thompson, who owns the company, John plays regularly, he gigs regularly. In fact, the Cub is his amp of choice. He's always loved that amp. So John will be playing it a lot. We've got all the guys in the in production who'll be just play testing it a lot. So there isn't some particular structure, but yeah, you'll go through probably 4 or 5 months of R&D.
Yeah, and it's down to sound crew as well, working out the front. You know,
absolutely,
yeah, all that sort of thing. And what I like, I don't want to say no frills and thrills, but it's all in there. But this is back to basics. There's no unnecessary things that make you look better. So all that stuff. Well, this is moving air, isn't it? This is on stage.
And I think if you look back at Bad Cat, you know, 25 years we've been around. We've made some pretty iconic amps, and for this, you know, the Cub is something really special. It's an incredible sounding amp, and we've just decided that we wanted to come back to the point-to-point hand-wired thing, because a few years ago when we relaunched the brand, we actually stopped making the hand-wired stuff for a little while, because actually we didn't really have the production capacity at the same time as growing the business to, you know, to kind of do the hand-wired thing, because it takes basically a day to build one of these. It's a long time, right? With PCB-based amps, you can actually build them a lot faster. They're great quality, they're really consistent, they sound amazing. We still build the PCB ones in California too. But like I say, you can build a lot more in a smaller time. And with such a small company, you can't do all of that at once. So we were like, okay, we're going to just take maybe a year, 2 years, something like that, where we're just going to focus on completely reimagining the PCB-based product.
Right.
That's what we did. Player Series 2 came out. It's been incredibly successful. But now we're in a position where Chris Bucks stopped playing and everyone's clapping.
Making too much noise behind us.
No, it's all good. But
yeah, down, Chris.
We're in a position where we really want to do the point-to-point hand-wired thing as well now, so that we can satisfy the two types of customers.
There was a time where valves, tubes, bottles. Where are we? What country? Yeah. Well, they were hard to get. Some, weren't they?
I think they are still quite difficult to get. It's, you know, you just have to go with where you can get the best quality ones. You know, it's just how it is. But we're not dogmatic about it. I mean, if you could come up with an amp that didn't use tubes, that sounded and felt amazing, then you would do, right? But it just happens that tubes are the way to go when you want to get something that sounds absolutely fantastic. And it's just, I don't know, it's not just the sound, it's the feel. It's what you get back from the amp when you're playing it. So it's
And
just really important.
for me, visually, aside, I mean, it's finished off cosmetically beautiful with this, but I can look back and I can think, oh, too much reverb. You can see, the livery's black and white and the pointy chicken head knobs. It's just there. You know where you are.
We worked really hard actually on. It's funny with the cosmetic side of it. The other amps, the Player Series 2, we wanted to kind of give people a hint of the history of Bad Cat by keeping the same name, and the same logo and that kind of thing, the same name as the product. But I think we also used a different font on the front panel. It was a little bit more modern. But for these, man, it's a Cub, all right?
Yeah.
It is an iconic amp. So as far as we're concerned, we really had to stick with a certain look. So what we did, we kind of revised it a little bit. I think we made it look a little bit neater and tidier on the front.
Oh, it's beautiful. And the cabs finished off, or the pipe in. Mainly the cabs are mainly 212, aren't they?
These are 212s, yeah. We have some 112 open back cabs over there.
Yeah.
And we've also put the eyes back on for these products as well, because the eyes aren't on the other ones. So actually this is one of the coolest things, and I mean, of course, this makes everything sound much better. In standby, you just get the eyes.
Brilliant.
Full power, you get the logo. So it's like,
I see cat size.
Exactly. So, but it's amazing amp. We've gone through the whole thing and improved it in a lot of different ways. So
excellent.
You've still got the EF86 and the 12AX7, which is a big part of the Cub from the past.
Yeah.
Very simple bass, treble. You got an all-tube spring reverb there. You have the cut control, 2-foot switchable masters, which is really cool. But
excellent.
One of the best things about this is this depth control. 4-way rotary switch, and it allows you to tailor the bass particularly. So you can get, if you've got a Telecaster, let's say it's a little bit too zingy, a little bit too bright, you want to introduce a little bit more sort of heft to it, then you can just give it a couple of clicks on there and that will do that. Conversely, let's just say you've got a Les Paul that for one reason or another in your mix is sounding a little muddy, a little bit too bass heavy, then you go the other way and skinny it up. So it really configures the amp in terms of the way it sounds and sits in the mix really simply or easily. And it's really funny because the times we've plugged people into this, one of the first things they do when they go to the depth control, you can kind of see them starting off with that, configuring the amp to fit them perfectly, and then they start like using the bass treble and stuff like that. So it's very cool. But yeah, we're really proud of it. And these are custom colors. They normally come in black.
Yeah.
But it's a really big deal for us that we're going to be doing these point-to-point hand-wired amps again, and hopefully for our customers.
Look out for them in our shops pretty soon. At a shop near you.
At all good retailers.
Yes. Da, da, da.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Matt.
That's okay.